Hi, my name is Dean Roger Ray, and I've been fighting the occult and systems that have got into the government to corrupt it. And everybody seems to think that we can tell these people that shame them into fixing things, and yet we have to have the people homegrown out of the community to decide to clean up things, get into politics, and once in the political arena, then try to fix things. And sadly, I can show you where politicians have been drummed out in places of critical power. And it's been driven by, these things have been driven by the corporations, these have been driven by occult. Like I said, Freemasonry is involved, there's a lot of other different groups. And what they've done is they've isolated the media to themselves, and they can control political views, they can control basically they can control the money in your wallet. They are the bankers. They are the money lenders, and they control the media, like I said, and through that they wield a power that's unimaginable. And you don't see it on the outside, but on the inside, you see that your politicians are just nothing but puppets. And if they're not puppets, they're going to have a heck of a time. They're going to have no media exposure. They're going to have ridicule coming from uh, places where the rest of the public believe they are, the right people to talk, to have the open microphone and talk to you, where they don't have the right at all. And some of the things that come over that television is just horrifying. But it's not just the closure of the media. It's basically you do not define your reality through a television set. You can't. And everybody has, and there's a totally different reality out there that makes more sense than that. Unfortunate thing is, if you become aware of it, like I have, you get tortured by some very wealthy people, and you get treated like an outcast, and you get phone calls to jobs, and you get basically called gang stalking. And a lot of us have went through this, and we face a pummeling of including YouTube. We face a pummeling of media resources that get removed, or freedom of speech removed, by just the odd video not getting posted, and if they don't like that, they just basically edit you. And this is tough because people don't realize this is going on. Realize there's people like me out there that are trying to tell you the truth, trying to show you and get you to understand when you've been sitting there pumped by the media so long, and you think you know the truth, and you just, nobody can fathom. It's not just people ignoring the poor. It's a totally different reality than what what you can understand. I mean, go to www.spirituallysmart.com, or go to www.arcticbeacon.com, and you can start to put together that there's something else playing out there. Or you can go to 911 Ripple Effect, or you can go 911 Truthers, and you can see that the towers there's something wrong there too. That there was a demolition during 911, and it's not just that. There's Bohemian Grove, where most of the leaders hang out and try to say it's all right to worship the devil. These things are just the tip of the iceberg. They're just a lot of people out there exposing each other, trying to get in a race to come and tell you that there's something wrong, and the bad guys are in that race too, hoping. One of them is Alex Jones. He's hoping that you all believe him, and he's telling the truth. He's just not squarely putting it on whose fault it is, and he's trying to save the Vatican from embarrassment by just basically ignoring their what they've done to be a part of the New World Order. And all these things coming, like if you were to look at Alex Jones' terror storm, absolutely correct, all the stuff that's happened. And if you to look at the different conspiracy theories, it's all true. The problem is that the media is so orchestrated that the truth can't get to you, and it has to get through to the alternatives. And people like Alex Jones, even though I say be careful of the guy, he's basically a Project Mockingbird, and he's basically copying a lot of other people that died trying to get the truth to you. That you don't follow him, but you look at his message. I know it's hard to understand, but if you looked as much as I did, you'd know that that's true. It's a very complicated world out there. But my point is that these poor people that are you know that do no longer have the ability to go get a job. Yes, I do agree they should be taken care of. I do agree they should have basic minimal fundamental housing and just the basics. And then if they want to go beyond that, they could reach out and grab it, not just abandon them and said, "Well, you're lazy, you can't work." They're putting out just as much effort, wiggling a sign than they are. They're just desperate. No place to really, you know, have a telephone available, or have a place. I know what that's like. I've been pushed there by this government because I know too much. I've been pushed in those corners, and I know that without a telephone, and I know without a steady address, and I know without things that these guys intend to take away from me, I know it's hard. It's very hard to cope. And you don't set these things up. If you don't, and if you set them up, they get taken away. You set them up, they get taken away. If you set them up and they get taken away, and you do not have the desire to set them up again, yes, you do become like the people in Tent City. But to say that they've given up, no way. They're busy wiggling a sign trying to get help. They're still going. But we all got to do. And I've lived in all those areas. I've lived where they took away my companies. I've lived where they took away my jobs. I've lived it. And I know there's big corporations out there that are just bent on killing people, not just taking away their money, but bent on eugenics projects. There's subgenius in the schools. There's scary stuff out there. And it's called the Illuminati. You can look up Myron Fagan if you like. United Nations is not really, media pumps it up to be some kind of beautiful thing. United Nations, it's not. It's basically it's basically part of the conspirators. It's a new world order trying to come about. If you took away the United Nations, you'd be way better off. But anyway, it it would take way too much to try to explain this, except for to tell you that maybe one day just take a look, you know, try to look at some of the things I'm trying to tell you. How about Preston Manning? Take a look at what happened to him with CSIS. Just type in Preston Manning CSIS, or take a look at what you know. There's so much information what happened. So little time for people to really wake up anymore. You really do need to wake up and stop relying on media that's prepared. Information that's prepared for you, even what I'm telling you. Go look at what these guys did. Preston Manning was a good politician, and he was drummed out, and Harper was his replacement. He was pushed in, and what we have now is a very corrupt government, and it's even worse in the States and all over the world. And it's all to support these people that don't deserve to be in politics.